Good afternoon. I'm going to show you today how to view PDU information sent between a client and server. In other words, we're going to watch the flow of traffic between a client and its server. Alright, we have a pre-set up model here. Here is a PC. This is the DNS server. A couple of switch. One is a remote switch, one is a web switch. There is a second server and actually a third server. One is called test.web, the other is called ciscolearn.web. And if I click out here on the internet, there are two different, if you look down here, what are they? Those are routers. Two different routers. Okay, we're going to go back for 1 second. Okay, we're actually going to do a simulation today. We're going to actually make this do its job. We click on the simulation tab and that brings up the event list, which we could get at down here. And we are going to edit the filters, and you will notice that sometimes you have to sort of move this to get the edit filters button to come up. We want to show all or none, that way it just sort of clears the page. No sense in going through and having to unclick everything manually. HTTP and TCP. Okay, this toolbar here, this toggle bar, is the speed, and we want it fairly quick. No sense in just sitting here watching the computer slowly do its job. Okay, so we're going to drag this down sort of over here where we could still get at it and still actually see this. Right here is adding a simple PDU, and it's sort of covered up, but right there is a complex PDU, which is what we want because it's going through a number of jumps. Okay, we are going to, when you have a PDU, you have to have a source and a destination. We're going to make the external client a source, and here we have a page that pops up that we then have to fix. So we're going to go to the PDU settings, which is right here, and we don't want it to ping, we want it to use HTTP, and you have to give it a second because you saw the page sort of wiggle just a second. Okay, we are going to click this to tell it that that is the destination, which is nice because it just puts in the IP address for you that way. Otherwise you would have to go in and look at it. For the source port, which is our starting source, we're going to click, type in 1000. Come down here under simulation settings. We want it to be periodic, and it's going to be 120 seconds. Now we're going to create this PDU. Okay, you can see here it's sort of saying, I'm ready. Now if you wanted to watch this, right here it says auto capture and play. And since we've already speeded it up, we're just going to see if it goes. There's one. There's two, and now it's going to travel around in the internet, and I could actually open that up. Boom. And if you look, it's showing us lots of stuff here. Okay, then it's coming over here, and it's going to the Cisco Learn, which is where we said it was the destination. It's going to go in there. And it shows up on the other side saying, okay, I got through that part. I'm coming down, coming down. See, this is showing you each of those little hops. Each of those little hops. And we could just let this keep going. Keep going. And see the times in seconds, it's 0.3 seconds. So it's going pretty quick. See, it's saying which one is which. Oops. My apologies, my window's going to reset here a little bit. Be just a second. Okay, move some stuff down. You can see it's still going, and I could let this go quite some time. If I hit capture forward though, sometimes it'll stop it, but I want to show you something here. Let's say that this web switch okay, what I did is I just stopped it real quick so that we could go on, because what will eventually happen, it'll say no more events. With my program it takes quite some time for that to happen, but it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. So if we click on the event switch or the remote switch, actually let's try the local. See how there is a envelope right here? You can click on it and that brings up information about the PDU, and this is a pretty interesting area because you get some really interesting information. This is the OSI model window. The OSI model shows you what layers it's traveling through, and this one's showing you, here's its header. We do have some header information that you can look at. And so where we just clicked is layer 1 and layer 2 is what it had to go through. The inbound PDU, this is a bunch of information that you sort of have to know a little bit about a computer. Here's the source MAC address. Here's the destination MAC address, and this is like the Ethernet frame. Has a lot of information in here. Here's the source IP address and the destination IP address, and you can tell by the 172 and the 192 here, they're on different local networks. You keep going down and there's even more information. So there's tons of information there. Now for the outbound PDUs, it's sort of the same because, but it's a little bit reversed, because inbound it's getting it from the web. Outbound, it's leaving where we just had the inbound from and going outbound. It's just the reversed, and but some of it will look the same, because if you look at the inbound, it was the source IP was at 172. The outbound is still 172. That's because of where it originated, not where it is now, because 172 did not send this. 192 did not send this. 172 did. So just to give you something to look at real quick, so we capture it forward, and I'm actually going to capture forward again, capture forward. There we go. Capture forward, capture forward. So see, it comes in here to the remote, and it's going to capture forward to the local. So that's what it looks like. I hope this helped you to understand a little bit about what it looks like to view PDU information when it is sent between a client and a server.